That's where he's headed at some point.
Well, he's unbelievably good right now for Atlanta. 3 2-run homers in the last 2 games. He once again is atop the Toyota starting lineup for the Braves. Ere Adrianza gets the start for Atlanta at third base on a breezy, blustery day in Chicago. Zach Davies, coming off a rough start last time out, opens up the series for the Cubs.
You see those last 3 seasons with the Brewers, has had good numbers, had a good start for the Cubs. Last year with the Padres, but had a good start with the Cubs. And first start, as you said, Chip, struggled the last start. Won 1, 2, 3 in the first, and then walked 3, gave up a bunch of hits, 7 earned runs. So look for him to get back. He keeps the ball really low, likes to get contact, likes to get weak ground balls. And since last year, he's allowed on-base percentage of just 146 with 2 strikes.
So 4 keys for the Braves, Jeff, to make it 2 wins in a row today.
Crazy back-and-forth game yesterday. Take that win that you had, build momentum, keep going. And for Kyle Wright today, throw strikes. The wind's blowing in here at Wrigley. All you got to do is let them hit it as far as they can and let that defense play.
So Ronald Acuna Jr., second in the league in hitting, first in homers with 7 and 14 RBIs. Check swing, and we are underway in Chicago. Jeff and I join you from Truist Park in Atlanta. Kelly Kroll is with us for the broadcast today. Told the temperature in Chicago in the 40s, but blue skies, no chance of rain so far, but still a very chilly day compared to the beauty we have in Atlanta. You can see the breadth of the players as Davies turns it loose and misses outside for an even count. Braves start play at 5-8 on the year. Braves beat the Cubs 5 out of 7 games in 2019. They did not face off last year, you recall. First time that the Braves and Cubs did not play a single series in a season in 146 years.
Wow.
And because of COVID. And the Cubs will be in Atlanta on our next homestand, as Acuna didn't get a 77-mile-an-hour floater from Davies, and the count to him 2-2.
For the old changeup after 3 sinkers.
That missed downstairs. One thing you know about Davies is he works very quickly. Gets the ball, gets a sign, goes back to work. That helps keep his defense on its toes. He's faced the Braves twice, beaten them once. And Acuna didn't mean to. And the count 3-2. I would imagine, Jeff, this truly is a changeup for the Braves offense. All the hitters are so used to high velocity. This is a guy that does not have to or need to light up the radar gun.
Yeah, it's a lot like Josh Tomlin when you watch him out there. He's just trying to hit spots, keep the ball down, and get ground balls.
And that's always inviting for a pitcher with the thick grass on the Wrigley Field infield. And Acuna takes downstairs ball 4. Good patience. Acuna walks for the 7th time, and that's how the game starts. Davies has to go to the stretch right away, and walks have been a problem. That's 7 of them for Davies in his first 7 1/3 innings this year.
And you can see with not throwing that hard, though, Chip, you got to hit corners. You got to try to hit those spots. And for him, like that pitch, didn't miss by much, but missed enough that it's going to be a ball. And now you got Ronald on first.
And Freddie Freeman in the batter's box. We'll see if Atlanta takes liberties with Wilson Contreras behind the plate. Out on the first pitch as Freddie smacks one to the right side. Nice play by Sogard. Acuna moves up 90 feet. And he stands there with 1 out, and Marcell Ozuna coming up. Productive out for Freddie, but Eric Sogard with a nice bespectacled play at second base.
And did the smart thing. You see Ronald here had a pause for a second. Jump, actually. Sogard might have had a chance to get Ronald second, but smart move to get the sure out at first. As you said, productive out for Freddie.
Now we need a few more of those for Marcell Ozuna, who's still in the 160s with his batting average. A homer, 4 RBIs. And Ozuna racking up the strikeouts. He's got 19 of them in 49 at bats. Davies' 9th pitch is way outside. Even with the wind blowing in Chicago, there is a wind tunnel. If you hit it to left center and keep it
line drive
on a line, you've got a chance.
The best ever that I saw at that, Aramis Ramirez, man. He used to hit those line shots through the wind to left center.
That caught a corner.
Yeah, I mean, Chip, you talk about this offense. If your name's not Ronald Acuna right now through 13 games, you're in a $190 with a 339 slug. So you can look at it two ways. We're 5-8. You could also say, man, we're fortunate to be 5-8, and once we get going, we're going to rack up the wins.
That's an excellent point. I think we're all guilty of saying, well, why isn't everybody hitting? And man, we're in trouble. To win 5 games with that kind of sporadic offense is saying something. Pitch is outside. Ozuna spit on that. 2 balls and a strike. There's a high fly ball hit toward left center field, but the wind's going to knock that down. Drifting out is Baez, and Javier Baez makes the play. Acuna's still at second with 2 outs, and the Braves catcher Travis d'Arnaud's coming up.
And you see just on that ball right there, that's a fly ball to left field. Well, with the wind blowing in, Baez only had to go about 5-6 steps back to catch that ball.
Yeah, it's 18 miles an hour straight in from left.
Yeah, and this is where I know you laugh and you think it's so elementary, but how many times have we seen a ball drop in between outfielders at Wrigley Field with the wind doing what it's doing? It's tough. You have to communicate at that park, probably more than any other park in baseball.
So d'Arnaud's the batter. Braves have done a good job scoring early in the game. Let's see if d'Arnaud can come up with a 2-out hit. Travis with 5 RBIs. He's hitting .225. Acuna at second after a leadoff walk, but now 2 men down on a perfect baseball day in Chicago. And a cue shot slowly hit toward the pitcher. He'll take it himself in front of Rizzo. And Davies escapes the first inning, stranding Ronald Acuna Jr. Really struggled offensively for David Ross, who's not with the team today. He's serving a 1-game suspension for their hijinks with the Milwaukee Brewers the other day. They had the day off yesterday. They've got a very potent lineup, at least on paper. It hasn't shown up. And with the wind and the weather and their offensive struggles, Jeff, maybe that's a combination for Kyle Wright, who gets the surprise start for the Braves today.
Yeah, he does. Look, we knew we'd need depth this year from the starting rotation. Here's Kyle. You see those numbers last year? The last 3 starts to me is when you see the K to base on ball ratio. Today is a perfect example. The wind's blowing in. Throw that sinker, throw the ball over the plate, and force these guys to hit it. Braves have one of the best defenses in baseball.
So it's Happ, Contreras, and Rizzo, the first 3.
And I was going to say, he's facing an offense that there's a lot of good hitters, but right now they're last in the league in runs, average, on-base percentage, and OPS with a .561.
And striking out an awful lot.
Yep. So take advantage.
So Kyle's first pitch is inside and tight to Ian Happ, the Chicago leadoff man, who's 3 for his last 19 at the plate. Happ at 143, a homer and an RBI. He too with the strikeout bug. He's got a dirty dozen of those. There's no question that Kyle Wright has the stuff to be a big winner at the major league level. I think it's a matter, Jeff, of harnessing that stuff and figuring out what's the key for him to pitch at this level.
Yeah, and I mean, when he got sent down
in the air toward left center field, that ball's off the ivy. Ozuna with a good play, and it's a long single for Happ.
Wow, great play by Marcel. Got to that ball, got a nice kick off the ivy. The ivy's still dead out there in the outfield, so you get a good kick early in April and May.
And by that discovery, I mean, what style of pitching is best for Kyle Wright? Is he a high 4-seam fastball guy, or is he a guy that needs to pitch down in the zone with that curveball and slider to win up here?
Down in the zone, to me, you saw his last starts. He started to really throw that big sinker. Bryce Wilson did the same thing, and they had a lot of success.
Wilson Contreras is the batter. .226 his average with a couple of homers. Contreras was in the eye of the storm against Milwaukee. They plunked him a lot in their just completed series. And Contreras has been hit 4 times already this year and 18 times since the start of the 2020 season. Your pal just seems to be a baseball magnet, Jeff. I don't know why.
But, you know, it's like anything. It's like Ronald a little bit in the fact that how you get him out is you go in, you pound in. right there, and you try to get him to swing at that, and then you go off the plate soft.
And again, it's a cold day. I would think getting the ball off the handle or off the end of the bat's not a lot of fun today.
No, like I said, it's a perfect game for Kyle to get off to a good start in 2021. When I thought that was the one advantage the Braves had coming into this year was the depth of the rotation. You know, you like the 5 that you went to war with, or 4, and having Soroka coming off soon, but Kyle, Bryce Wilson, these guys have had a lot of experience, a lot of success.
And so perhaps a dream for Kyle Wright. First time he's pitched in Wrigley Field and faced the Cubs, and he pulled that pitch off the plate. 3 balls and a strike to Contreras, with Rizzo coming up. Contreras is the hottest hitter for the Cubs, and that's damning them with faint praise. There's not a whole lot of offense going for them right now. He does have a 5-game hitting streak. Slight shift on for him, and he didn't get the sinking 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
And that's the perfect pitch. Even if you square that up, there's a good chance it goes straight in the ground. You get a chance for a double play.
Cubs are wearing 42, as are the Braves today. Chicago was off yesterday on Jackie Robinson Day, so they'll celebrate it against the Braves in Game 1 of the weekend series. Axe-handled bat for Contreras, with Happ at first and nobody out. And he gets hit again on the elbow guard. It's unbelievable. 5th time Contreras has been hit with a pitch, and right in the soup. 2 on, nobody out, and Rizzo coming up.
See, but that's a perfect example. I mean, look, he's not trying to get out of the way of that pitch. You know, I mean, he could have moved a little bit. I mean, that's the type of player that he is. He threw a 2-seamer in, 3-2. It's not like Kyle's trying to hit him on that pitch.
So Kyle Wright in first inning trouble. Here's Anthony Rizzo, pending free agent, hitting a .171. He is right on top of the plate. And a breaking ball in for a strike. One thing the Cubs are banking on with Rizzo, you look at his hard hit rate, it's almost 50%. He's squaring the ball up in large part, but hasn't had many fall for him. And they need him to get going. He, Bryant, and Baez, 3 huge free agents at the end of the season. For Chicago, 0-1 from Wright, who could use a double play ball. And that's skied out of play, foul left side. It's 0-2.
You know, I think one thing too, though, that people forget is how hard it is to hit in Chicago in the month of April. You know, it's cold, it's usually windy, you know, and I'm sure these guys hitting what they're hitting in today, 43 in wind, and then you go watch TV and you see out in San Diego and it's 75. It's different. It's tough.
Beautiful view from the Wrigley Field scoreboard as Rizzo camps out 0-2. Got the pitch up, slowly hit on the ground. Ozzy's got it. Runners advance to second and third. Productive out for Rizzo, and now Chris Bryant's coming up.
Got the ground ball he wanted. He was just able to pull it enough in the hole that Ozzy could only get 1.
So Chris Bryant, who's knocked in a run in 4 of the last 5 games, has been the big extra base hit man for Chicago this year. He's got a chance to drive home a couple with Jock Peterson waiting on deck. This is where the Cubs have really struggled. They're 7 for 75 with runners in scoring position all year. 7 hits in 12 games with a runner at second and third. That explains why they've scored 32 runs. Only team that scored less, the Mets.
They've played a lot less games.
No balls and a strike for Chris Bryant. Happ at third, Contreras at second. Scoreless game, first inning in Chicago, and Bryant is behind 0-2.
Well, that's the tough thing. You know, look, a lot of times you get second and third chip, you get a chance to get two, but you know, right here, even a ground ball to short, ground ball to second, ground ball really in the anywhere in the infield, you get a run.
The old free RBI if you can make contact.
And now you're 0-2, so you're behind in the count.
He struck him out. Wicked slider, and Bryant is down on 3 pitches. So the Cubs' miseries for the moment continue. Second and third now, 2 outs.
That's a great tight slider. Probably the best we've seen from Kyle in a long time. Starting the outer half. Saw the nice tight spin on that pitch.
So Jock Peterson, he's hitting 108.
Yeah, 4 for 37. That's a guy you got to believe, though. It's a lot different coming from LA in April to Chicago.
When they called it the Windy City, they were not joking.
Yeah.
Jock, he too has struck out a lot, 15 times. Nice stop by Darno. 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, I swear, as an opposing player, every year the schedule comes out, and you always look, and you're hoping to get to Chicago in about June or July.
Yeah,
would be ideal.
Yeah.
You all of a sudden see a trip up there mid-April, and you're like, oh man.
Yeah, kind of quirky scheduling. Remember, the Braves have played in Denver in April. We've played in Chicago in April. Risk of bad weather for the Eastern and Western teams is awfully high in the schedule issues that result. As Peterson now ahead in the count, 2 balls, no strikes. No score, first inning at Wrigley Field. There's a good pitch from Kyle. 2-1 your count.
That's one thing Kyle's done a better job too. Late last year, I thought, was, you know, 2-0. We used to kind of talk. He had trouble throwing that slider and change up for a strike. Now you're seeing him able to do that. Guys not knowing, hey, here's 2-0. Here comes the fastball.
Happ single to start the game. Contreras hit by a pitch. Runners at second and third. The pitch in the air. That should be a can of corn for Ender Inciarte. And Kyle Wright works around, 2 on, nobody out, and the Cubs fail to score again in the first inning. It's our Home Depot getting more done player profile.
You see what he's done to Chicago. Has absolutely torched them. Hit safely in 15 of 17 career games. And at Wrigley Field, 432 with 4 homers and 2 doubles.
It's really funny when you go down and look at the career averages of players who go to Chicago. There are some guys who feast like Ozzie Albies, and then you look at Chipper Jones, who's a Hall of Famer. He hated hitting there.
Yeah, guys are different. You know, I enjoyed playing there. I hated playing at Fenway Park. You know, guys feel comfortable at different places, and you can tell with those numbers, Ozzie really enjoys hitting there. Sometimes you just go to a place and you see a ball and it looks big.
So the Braves start anew in the second with Albies, Swanson, and Adrianza against Zach Davies, who's coming off an inning and 2/3 last time out against Pittsburgh. And that's upstairs. That's about his best bolt, 84, 85 miles an hour. Kind of Kyle Hendricks-like.
Yep.
For Chicago. And a chopper into the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. These kinds of matchups, while they may not be fun for the hitters, I think they're fun for the fans, because you're watching a guy who personifies what his position is. He has to pitch.
Yeah.
He can't get by just trying to throw the ball by people. Like that. 76-mile-an-hour floater, a ball and 2 strikes.
I think what you have to take sometimes with pitchers like this, though, is the realization that there's 3 or 4 times a year where it might get bad quick. And you saw that last week versus Pittsburgh, when you're not hitting your spots, you're walking guys, and you don't have the velocity to get big strikeouts.
Mentioned the big year that he had with the Padres last year. One thing that helped Davies, he got almost 7 runs of support per game.
They got a lot of runs last year in San Diego.
And that's not happening for the Cubs yet in 2021. He's 1-1 on the year, and the pitch is out of play left side.
I think what I missed most about going up to Wrigley was you were going to buy a dinner at Harry Carey's. Kelly was going to take us to Chicago Cut, our old stomping ground. Nothing.
Old deep pocket, short arms, Jeff Francoeur in Chicago, as that's out of play foul. And I think the Braves are looking forward to that as the vaccine protocols become more and more relaxed, as more and more players are responsible with the COVID protocols. Get a chance to feel like and act like big leaguers again.
Team dinners. Yeah, especially when you go to cities like Chicago.
Back to the mound, and Davies, an excellent fielding pitcher, takes care of the Braves second baseman, one man down. Dansby Swanson had the game-winning hit for the Braves yesterday. All about Dansby's late inning heroics. He too a good hitter against Cubs pitching. Let's see what he has in store for us in the second inning.
And Dansby with the big hit yesterday, where he's kind of struggled this year. 2 strikes. Only got on at a .83 clip.
Davies came over from the Padres in that big trade that sent Yu Darvish and Victor Caratini to San Diego. Cubs trying to rebuild their farm system and stay competitive in the National League Central. 2-0 pitch. And that's out of play foul. This was how the game ended yesterday, with the Braves avoiding a 4-game sweep at the hands of the Marlins. Didn't hit it hard off Dylan Floro, but Ronald Acuna Jr. plenty of time to come home, and then the chase was on for Dansby.
Yeah, look, he got a, like you said, he got it off the end of the bat. You could hear it crack. But that's a situation where you're looking for a pitch up. Anything you see up, whether it's that fastball or slider, all you need is something to the outfield, and he was able to get the job done. Really, that whole ninth, got to give a lot of credit to those Braves hitters. Ender with a big hit to get on, then Acuna got it going. Freddie with a huge, 10-11 pitch walk.
Two count for Dansby, and that's outside. Braves got a leadoff walk for Ronald Acuna Jr., but left him stranded in the opening inning, and that's bounced foul. Adrianza on deck for Atlanta. He's in for Austin Riley at third base for game 1 of the series. And the pitch is driven high in the air toward the right field corner. The wind's going to push that into the stands, however. Still 3-2. What are the special challenges of playing the outfield at Wrigley Field on a day like today?
Well, it's, that's the crazy thing is the alleys there are so short. You see right down the right field line, you just saw 353. So it's long down there. So if a ball gets over there, there's a good chance of a triple. So you try to do everything you can. You see right there to cut it off, and look, there's no foul territory towards the end.
Jason Hayward happy they put padding on those brick walls for sure. Once the ivy's in full bloom, that'll give a little cushion as well. As that's outside, good eye by Dansby. Davies issues his second walk, and Adrianza's coming up. Braves are looking for offense at the bottom of their batting order. It's no secret they got some, as Jeff said, from Ender the last couple of games. Austin Riley with no homers, no RBIs. Brian Snitker gets Adrianza in there. He can switch hit, another left-handed bat.
Hey, give him a chance to get 4 bats today and see where the chips fall.
His second start for the Braves this year. They want the pitch high as Swanson dives back safely. Contreras Has a cannon for an arm behind the plate, but has not yet thrown out a would-be base stealer. And with the changeups and slow velocity of Davies, I wonder if the Braves might take liberties on the bases today. See how Snit plays it with Dansby leading at first. Already 30 pitches for Davies. One ball, one strike. Davies ready for Adrianza in a scoreless game.
You can see Davies already with 2 walks today, having trouble finding the strike zone with that fastball. His best pitch has been the changeup.
He came off a great spring for the Cubs. He had a 1.08 ERA in Arizona.
Yeah,
spring
that's tough.
That's really good in any spring site. 2-1 pitch. Is the biggest challenge staying back on a guy like this?
Yeah, and look, you're going to see there's the changeup, good changeup. You see a lot of guys jam themselves because of this. Jamie Moyer used to throw 78 tops, and he would jam so many right-handed hitters because he'd get you waiting, and he'd be able to spot it.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And Adrianza over the top, didn't get that. Davies has his first strikeout, and 2 Braves are out in the second inning.
It's back-to-back changeup. See, if you live with that location there, that's a tough pitch to hit.